Right. Hello, everyone. Good evening and welcome to tonight's edition of the Growth Accelerator session. We'll be looking at Facebook ads planning, how to prepare for a profitable Facebook ads campaign. That's what we'll be looking at tonight. Facebook ads planning, how to prepare for a profitable ads Facebook ads campaign. If this is your first time joining on my sessions, I'm be watching the replay. You can go ahead and subscribe to the channel, guys, and like this video as we get started for tonight. We're going right into it. I can see that some of you are already live with me, and of course, definitely some people will be watching the replay. Let me just get this up as soon as possible so we can go live. But let me know where you're watching from if you're already live right now. Let me know where you're watching from, and then we can get started. So I'm just getting a particular part of the session. All right. Now, for many people, when it comes to Facebook ads, they've started running ads or they've tried running ads, and their results are not so good for different reasons. There are several reasons why your result may be not so great when it comes to Facebook ads. One of the things that is super important to know is that for every Facebook ad that is profitable, a good part of it. Let me just come up on video so you can see my face. All right, I hope you can see me now. Hi everyone. So for every Facebook ad that is profitable, all right, I can see some of your comments already. Hello, Williams. Great to have you here. I can see Joseph watching from Lagos, Nigeria. Williams watching from Kaduna. Amazing. Let me just get right into it. So for every ad that is profitable, there are some things that happen first before the Facebook Ads Manager is being opened. And that's literally what I'll be talking about today. To be a very straight to the point session, my major goal for this session is to tell you about the things that need to be prepared, all right? The things that would need to be prepared before you can have an ad that is profitable on Facebook. Now, there are a number of these things. The very first thing, all right, the first part of setting up a profitable ad campaign, all right, the number one thing, we can have like a list, right? The first thing that will need to be determined or to be clarified before you can start an ad campaign, all right? Number one thing is what is called the objective. That is the goal of the ad. Okay, so that's the first thing that we need to be clarified. What is your goal? When I get to work with clients, all right, one of the first things I get to ask them is, so what do you really want to achieve from this campaign? What would success look like to you? That's like my major question. What's the goal of the ad, all right? So number one is the goal or the campaign objective. That's the first thing that needs to be clarified, that needs to be in check, all right, before you can say that you're running a profitable Facebook ads campaign. We're talking about the planning phase now, all right? The planning phase of a Facebook ad, all right? So the first thing is the goal or the campaign objective. So you can write number one, the goal / campaign objective. And there are a number of goals actually when it comes to Facebook ads. The ads manager has like a number of goals, and I'll tell you why this is important. The reason is because of this, okay? Each goal of the Facebook Ads Manager, to an extent, is correlated to the result you get. That means if the goal you're looking for, or rather, if the result you want is conversion, sales, the result you want is sales, for example, and you go ahead and you choose, let's say, reach or brand awareness or post engagements, you will get post engagements, but you may not get as much sales as you should. Why? Because the goal you have selected is not in line with the results that you're looking out for. And that's why the first thing is your goal or your campaign objective. You have to be very clear about that. Let me give you some examples of goals. So there are three major buckets of goals when it comes to Facebook ads. There is one bucket of the goals or one part of the goals that has to do with awareness. All right. So under that awareness part of things, there are two major sub goals that are there. So your goal can be awareness. Under awareness, there's what is called reach. There's a reach campaign. So reach campaigns are optimized to reach a high number of people. That's a reach campaign. All right. It's optimized to reach as many people as possible. That's a reach campaign. The brand awareness campaign, which is the second one, is optimized to reach a certain number of people the highest number of times. Let me explain that. So the major difference between a reach campaign and a brand awareness campaign is that a reach campaign tries to reach the highest number of people, while the brand awareness campaign tries to reach a group of people as many times as possible. Why? The goal of a brand awareness campaign is impressions, how people can remember, and how can you remember something by seeing it over and over and over again. That's what brings about memorability. So if your goal is to keep your brand in the minds of people, in the hearts of people, the campaign objective you're thinking of going with should be a brand awareness campaign. That's why your goal or campaign objective is the first very important thing. There are other goals and campaign objectives like traffic leads to a particular destination. There's post engagement. If what you want is I want people to like my post, I want people to comment, I want people to share my post. If that's what you want, then a post engagement campaign is the best for you. If you're looking for if you're looking to send people to a direction, to a particular place, then a traffic campaign is best for you. So these are just campaign objectives that you need to have in mind. Your first step to a profitable campaign is making sure that your goal aligns with the campaign objective on Facebook. For example, if you want sales, it must be conversions. You need to run a conversions that gives you the best possible results. Okay. Now, the second thing that needs to be in place when you're planning your Facebook ads is your audience. That's number two. So we have the goal and campaign objective. Number two is the audience. And when it comes to audience, right, you need to have an idea of the kind of people that this offer that you have is made for. Whatever it is you're selling, whatever it is you're promoting, who is going to be most interested in this thing? It doesn't mean that there won't be like other people that may get value or may want to buy what you're offering or may get value from what you're promoting. All right, but you need to have and it's called an ideal audience. All right, in marketing, it's called the customer avatar. You're able to have an idea of the kind of people that will best benefit from this product or service. So number two is your audience. There are different kinds of audience, on the Facebook platform. There's a broad audience, there's a detailed targeting audience, there is the custom audience. I won't go too deep into that for today. This is a first level session, just the planning stage, what you need to get ready. So for your audience, you need to get ready the people that you want to target. What kind of people would be best, okay, to get value from what you're promoting? You need to have your audience in check. Just have that avatar, just have that outlined way of knowing those people that would best benefit from your product or your service. Now let's go forward to the next point, right? The third point. When it comes to audience, there are some things to take note of. For example, are you targeting just males? Are you targeting just females? If you're selling some certain kinds of products, it's majorly males that buy that. There are some people that are selling products that are majorly for females. So you need to know who are the people that will buy this. All right. You need to also have an idea of the age range. Are you targeting people between 25 and 30, or 25 and 35, or 40 to 65, depending on what you're selling or what you're promoting? All right. So the age range is also very important. Now, the next thing that's really important when it comes to planning a Facebook ad, the number three, right, is what is called the creative. So you can write that down. Number three is the creative. Your creative has one major purpose. The major purpose of your creative is to get the attention of people and transfer that attention to where you want it to go. That's what your creative does. So your creative basically gets the attention of someone and funnels that attention or transfers that attention from the first place where it was gotten to the exact place where you want the attention to go. That means your creative must be catchy, it must be attractive, must be able to get attention. So that's the third point, the creative. Your creative is a combination of either your video, your design, your picture, and your copy. Your copy is like the text part of your ad. I believe literally everybody has seen at least one ad on Facebook. So that thing you see is your creative. That's what catches the attention of people. Okay, so these are three major things along the Facebook ad system itself that you need to prepare before you start your ad. But I'm going to go a little bit deeper, and I'll make the session as short as possible. But I'll go a little bit deeper to talk about what I call the measuring system. All right. So after you prepare these three things, your next thing is, how do I measure my results? And this part is really important. If I have I have an advanced class on Facebook ads that I call the Facebook Troubleshooting Framework, where I really go deep into this. And the reason is because of this. What happens a lot of times is when something is wrong with a campaign, when probably your ad is not performing well, people are having issues with their ad, the first thing they do is they just try changing things. You try, okay, let me try a new creative, or let me change the audience, let me change. You're not sure of exactly what is wrong. Why? You don't have a standard system for measuring your results. How do you measure the results that come from your Facebook ads? This is a little bit advanced, and there's an entire class for this, right? But I just want to hint it here. There has to be a measuring system. How do you create that measuring system? The first part of creating a measuring system is identifying your core KPI. What's your core key performance indicator? And I know we have people with different levels of knowledge in marketing, so I'll try to break it down so that literally everyone will understand. For every goal you want, there's a way to measure that goal. If your goal, for example, is reach, all right, or let's say your goal is traffic, you're sending traffic to a page. A way to measure that goal can be link clicks. How many people are clicking on your link and going to that page? If your goal is, for example, sales, a way to measure that goal will be purchases. How many people are buying? How many people are actually purchasing, the product or the service? That's a way to measure. So you must have that core key performance indicator that tells you if your campaign is doing well or not. Now, if your campaign is not doing well, you need to enter what is called a troubleshooting sequence. How can you find out what is wrong? Where is the issue coming from? Is it coming from my creative? Is it coming from my landing page? Is it coming from the ad itself? Is it coming from the offer? I didn't go so deep into offer. Probably in the description box of this video, I'm going to put a link to my previous video on how to create an offer. For some people, the major reason why the campaign is not performing so well is because the offer is not strong enough. The offer is not good enough. So I had already talked about how to come about creating an offer. It's a step-by-step process, and I've explained that in a previous video. I won't go too deep into it here. So when you have these things ready, your campaign objectives / goal, the audience, the creative, and the measurement system, then you can come to the Facebook ads platform. That's when you begin to know exactly what it is that you need to do there. All right, do you need to set up your pixel? Do you need to what campaign objective do you need to use? How can you get the best possible results? That is when these things begin to make sense. If these things I've talked about are not done behind the scenes, all right, and you just come to your Facebook ads platform, there's a very high chance that ad will not be profitable. Why? Facebook does not show your ads to robots. They show it to people. That means your campaign must be people-centered. It must first take into cognizance or into consideration what would people see and want to be a part of. You must take into consideration who are the people you're targeting. You must take into consideration what is the goal that you're trying to have. These are the three major things you need to prepare before you start an ad. All right. Now, after you prepare these three things, there's what I call there's a center that these things revolve around. Every single thing you've prepared so far revolves around something. All right. And that is your offer. It revolves around your offer. There's something I call the digital business triangle. There's a whole video on that. Probably I'll also link it in this video. In the digital business triangle, Facebook ads is just one part of it. In fact, it is under one part of it, it's under traffic. So if you send too much traffic or sufficient traffic, enough traffic to an offer that is not relevant to an audience, no matter the traffic you send, no matter the number of people you send to that place, they will not buy that offer. They will not patronize that. They will not want to be a part of it. Why? Because the offer is not good, is not a good fit for the audience you're targeting. So every single thing we've talked about revolves around the offer that you're putting out there. All right, so this is how you can plan and prepare for a Facebook ad or a profitable Facebook ad, depending on the industry. Now, I'm going to give a quick example, and probably I'll use someone in the audience. So, can you drop as a chat? Tell me what you do. If you sell a product or you sell a service, just let me know in the chat. Let me just use one example to really buttress some of the points I've made so far. And let me see. So we have a number of people live already. Let me just go through the list I have. Okay, I can see Joseph Chukubuna. I can see Ayodeji Testing. Good to have you from United States. Hadiza from Kaduna. Hadiza from Kaduna. Okay. I can see Marvelous. Marvelous is here from Abuja. Great to have you here, so sir. Okay, yeah. So Joseph says he's a graphic designer. Let's use Joseph for example. So if Joseph designs graphics, right? The first thing is his objective. What does he want, right? So Joseph may want people to patronize his service. So he wants clients. That may be his major objective. He wants clients. Now, how does he want these clients? If Joseph has a way for people to just go ahead and book, that can be a conversions objective. But most times when it comes to things around graphic design, there's always an interaction with a client. The client always wants to interact with the person. So there are two ways to go about this for Joseph. You can either run a messages campaign, okay, that allows a client to easily send you a message either on WhatsApp or on Messenger. That means that's your goal. Your objective is, oh, I want clients to message me. I want people to see my designs, my design that says, you have 15% off if you make a design with me for your business for the next 1 month. And then people are saying, oh, I love your designs. Come and design for me. That's a messaging campaign. You want people to send you a message. That's an example. But if Joseph has a form, there's some graphic designers that have an entire website with a form for clients to reach out. If he has a form, a good objective for him will be lead generation. So he wants to generate leads, which is one of the objectives on that traffic. That's the first thing. He must identify that goal. Second thing is the audience. What's your price range? Are you targeting business owners? Are you targeting people within a particular age range? Are you targeting people that own Facebook business pages? What are the people you're targeting for your campaign as a graphic designer? All right, there can be that broad targeting. There can be a detailed targeting audience. There can be what is called a custom or retargeting audience. That's the second thing. And then the third thing is the creative itself. If you're into graphic design, it's expected that your major creative would actually be a design and one that catches attention. Your creative can also be maybe a number of designs that you've made before, so that people can see what you've done before and try to buy from that. Now, those are things that you prepare beforehand. So when you come to the Facebook ads platform, you literally just see the places where you need to put in these things and you are good to go. This is like a step before the beginner. I have what is called the Facebook ads roadmap. That is like a beginner's guide to Facebook ads, but it's like the step before that particular course. All right. So get these things ready, get these things prepared, and then you can get to run an ad that is profitable. Now, we won't stay too long for tonight's session. I will just see if I can take maybe one question and I would have to end tonight. This is a very, very quick session. We've been really consistent for a while, but yeah, you can take a screenshot of this session and let me know what you've learned so far from the session. I've talked about the things that you need to prepare for before you run your first ad, all right? So you can take a screenshot of the session, you can tag me on Instagram, on Facebook. I made mention of a number of other videos. I'll most likely add them in the description of this video. And then some of the courses I talked about, so I'll add them in the description for those of you that want to. So you can send a feedback to me using my email, hi@fiststeven.com. Those of you that want to probably send a feedback to me, you can get to do that. You can also see me on Instagram at fiststeven. You can take a screenshot, you can tag me, and we'll get to talk as time goes on. Now, every single Thursday, we come here to talk about a particular session of value. And next Thursday, we will be live again for the next session. Let me just say hi to some of you before I have to go. I can see Caleb. Hello, Caleb. Great to have you. I can see Victoria. Hello, Victoria. Great to have you. I'll just say some very last things before I go, right? Now, for every business owner, I'm having a session in Lagos in a few days from now, but just generally, if you're a business owner, you need to learn how to independently run Facebook ads. I may make a video on what, especially those of you that are watching me from Nigeria, on some of the implications of the rising dollar rates and things like that on businesses. It's a lot, right? And some of the things you can do to reduce the effect on your business. I'll make a standalone video on that. So if you've not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. I'll get to talk more about that. But every business owner, try to learn how to run ads for yourself. You may need to take a course, you may need to watch some videos on YouTube, but try to learn how to run ads for yourself. Exercise is asking, can someone run an independent ad on Instagram only? Yes, yes. Facebook, Instagram can actually allow you to run an ad independently. And for some kinds of art, we've seen even better results from running independent ads on Instagram for some certain kinds of art. For example, if you want to grow your Instagram following, right, as an example, it will be easier to run a profile visit ads from Instagram than to run like a traffic ad with your Instagram link as the traffic destination using the Facebook Ads Manager. I hope I'm talking at a very low level. So let me explain this. So there's what is called the Facebook Ads Manager, and then there's what is called the Instagram application, which all of you have. If you have an Instagram business account, you can get to run an ad that promotes your follower growth by making the goal of what is called profile visit. So you can use profile visit as your goal, and then that helps you to grow your account, your followership, because people click on your ad, they come to your profile, and they can get to follow you. All right. There's some other ads that are better to run from the ads manager. For example, a conversions campaign. You want to make sales. It's best to run from the ads manager because you can track. You can use your pixel to do some tracking, and that's one of the capabilities that for now Instagram is not able to do. But yes, you can run an independent ad on Instagram. There are some issues with payments here and there, especially for those in Nigeria. But yeah, these are things that we get to face. Probably in a subsequent video, I can talk about ways to circumvent that. But for now, this is where we are, and this is the focus of this session. So yeah, thank you so much for being a part of the session tonight. Make sure you take a screenshot. Make sure you tag me on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you make this post, and we would get to continue our conversation. Let me see if there's another comments in the chat box. Okay, Williams is asking, Shamaki is asking, differentiate between a Facebook ad account and a business manager. Now, the way the Facebook business manager works is that one business manager can have a number of ad accounts. So the business manager is like the higher level of the ads accounts. All right, so we have the business manager, and inside of that, there's the ad account, there's pages, there's pixels, Instagram account. A number of things are under the business manager. So business manager is like what controls all the assets of the business, and an ad account is one of the assets of a business on Facebook. I hope that's clear enough. So the Facebook ad account is inside the business manager. All right, guys, thanks so much. I'll have to go now. Stay tuned for the next session, which is next Thursday. Do enjoy the rest of your night.